What is my perspective on how people see me? I think some people see me as confused, or some people may say that I'm all over the place. And I can understand both of those perspectives, especially if you don't know the driving force behind why I do the things that I do or why I've done the things that I've done. And as I said previously, I've taken on the whole be all you can be mentality for so many years, you know, after being in the military for 20 years and living that life of be all that you can be. It just became a part of life, a part of my life. And like I said previously, I just like to see what I'm capable of doing. So again, if I see something I'm interested in, I'm going to try it. And trying it, not necessarily perfecting it, because sometimes it's just a thought or an idea or an interest, and I just want to do it and try it. And so I will, or I have. But also, there's times when I did things because I had to. I'll say, for example, people are surprised that I know how to change the rotors on my car or change the brakes on my car, do an oil change on my car, change a tire. You'd be surprised. There are some people out there who don't know how to change a tire. And those are just to name a few. But I was pushed into doing that, or I should say I pushed myself into learning that, because I remember there was a time when I was taken advantage of because I didn't know anything about my car, and I didn't know what it took to actually do the work on my car. And so, I ended up paying a lot of money on things that I could have done myself. And so for me, not to have to be in that position again, I simply asked questions. I simply went to people who knew how to do those things, and they gave me some hands-on training so that I could do it myself. So a lot of the things that I've learned to do over the years are a result of that, past experiences that didn't go very well, or where I felt like I was taken advantage of. And so if I was capable, I learned how to do whatever it was myself. Some things I did out of interest. And so I have skills in different areas because of these reasons. And so I would say, for example, I learned how to work with wood to a certain extent. I'm not a master carpenter or anything like that, and I wasn't trying to be. So this is one of those scenarios where I wasn't trying to be the best at this. I just wanted some guidelines and some basics, so that I knew how to use power tools, so I knew how to use wood and to create things that maybe I didn't have money to afford, but that I could do myself. And so that was before YouTube, where you could just go on YouTube and do things yourself. Nowadays, you could just go on there and just learn things on your own. I was not growing up in an era where we had that, luxury. So I just basically went to people who did it and learned. And so I am thankful. I am very, very thankful. I'm not, I don't feel any type of way in people making comments or with their mentality that, oh, I may be all over the place. I am thankful that I have the opportunity to learn these things and do things for myself. And so also, in thinking of your question that people may think that I'm confused and all over the place. Confused, let me just speak to that. I would think that some people might think that I'm confused for the simple fact that I may share posts of different things or coming from different avenues. Like recently, I did a post on being able to help people with bad credit. I've done posts before that with content that talked about being able to help someone be a better person for their spouse. And even more recently, I did a post on being able to help people who have gone through traumatic experiences. And so maybe I shouldn't put all those different posts out there within such a short period of time. And that could be something to think about. But I'm in a place in my life where I've started saying to myself now, live your worth, live your worth. Instead of be all you can be, now it's live your worth, right? And I realized that I haven't been living my worth. And part of me living my worth is wanting to help people. That is actually my biggest desire right now, is to be able to help people to be able to help themselves, simply because of all the experience that I have, simply because of all that I have been able to accomplish in the sense of what I'm capable of doing. So I want to be able to help people, because we're in a season, especially since COVID, where people are in different places of, I don't want to say fear, but there are people that are experiencing anxieties. There are people that are experiencing doubt. There are also people that are experiencing great things, because this has propelled them to get out of their comfort zones. And that is great. And so they're accomplishing great things. But that's on two different sides of the same coin, where on one hand you have people experiencing anxiety. On the other hand, you have people who are achieving great things because this has pushed them to do this. And so for those who are not on the end of the spectrum where they are achieving great things, but they have the potential to do so, I want to encourage them to at least try at doing something that they may be interested in doing, because you're not going to know if you can do it unless you try. And for me, failure is not trying something and not being able to do it. Failure for me, and this is my perspective, failure for me is wanting to do a thing and you didn't even try to do it. For me, you've already failed yourself by not giving yourself the opportunity to see if you could even do it. And so for me, I like to try. And if I'm trying a thing, I'm going to give it my all. And if I give it my all and it's not great, then at least I'm okay with the fact that I gave it my all. And just to say, because that just triggered a thought, when you give your all or your best at something, that's me, I'm talking to me, and you can learn from it as well. When I've given my best or my all at something, which is usually like 110%, even if that 110% does not achieve greatness in the eyes of someone else, or even greatness in my own eyes, I am satisfied in knowing that I've given 110% of myself in whatever that is. But here's the thing, guys. If where you are today, or where I am, I got to keep it on me. If where I am today and I'm giving 110% of where I am today does not look like what I want it to look like, I'm okay with that. Again, I'm okay with that. But I've learned that where you are, or where I am right now, and giving what I am right now isn't necessarily going to be the same a day from now, or a week from now, or a month from now, because I'm constantly growing and striving to better myself. And so if I'm striving to be better at a thing, and 110% today is 110%, a week from now or a month from now, because I know better and because I know more, that 110% is going to be even better at that thing. But if I choose not to continue in a thing, that's my choice. And you see, here's the thing. People that I know and have dealt with in the past, they get stuck on a thing because they feel as though they have to. They have to. I can just leave it there. I can say because they have to, or because they feel as though they have to master this thing before they can get to the next thing. For me, just my 110% at that thing, for me, is good. Matter of fact, it's great. And if I haven't mastered it, I'm okay with that. And you see, you have to be okay with yourself, not for someone else, but you have to be okay for yourself at doing that thing and being able to say, you know what? I gave 110%. And if that 110% was all I could give, because come on, some people stop at 100%, but if that's all I could give for that thing, then I have to be okay in knowing that I gave 110% and I wasn't a master at it, but at least I gave 110%. And I'm pleased that I was able to do that. So I hope that answers that question as to my perspective on people's opinion that I may be confused, or people's opinion that I may be all over the place. I can truly say that I love the fact that I am able to be curious about something and take a step to attempt to do that thing that I'm curious about, and not just dream about it, So yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not out to please people. I'm not out to mimic what people do. I'm not out to copy people's success. I'm really just trying to be me, and I have to be content with that. Yeah.